بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين وبعد. So here we go, lesson number 2. We're still in the introduction. So today inshallah we're going to start from the statement of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala وَلَقَدْ بَعَثْنَا فِي كُلِّ أُمَّةٍ رَسُولًا أَنِ اعْبُدُوا اللَّهَ وَاجْتَنِبُوا الطَّاغُوتَ. So here وَلَقَدْ, alright, بَعَثْنَا. So that shows what? Here وَلَقَدْ in the Arabic language, and it qad by itself. Forget the lam for ijabah jawab al-halaf, but the qad here, ba'athna. What is it? What's the meaning here?
We have certainly sent.
Yeah, it means a tahqiq. This is muhaqqaq, like this is hasl bila shak, wala rayb, wala mira. So, verily, for sure, we have sent ba'athna fi kulli ummah, in every single nation of people. Every single nation has been sent rasulan. And what's the difference between nabi and rasul?
A rasul, he was sent with a new sharia and he was ordered to preach it to the people.
Mm-hmm.
And a nabi, he wasn't sent with a new sharia. He was sent with the prophet that was before.
Yeah, he was going to continue on the da'wah that went before him. Alright, yes. So he said, so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَلَقَدْ بَعَثْنَا فِي كُلِّ أُمَّةٍ رَسُولًا. So that means that there was a messenger sent, so that for every single people there was, guidelines and set of laws for the people. And obviously this continued on until who?
Prophet.
Yeah, and then he was sent to all mankind. So what happened to all those shara'i? All the laws and legislation that went before, I don't want to say Islam because they were all Islam, but Islam bil ma'na. But now we have ma'na al-am, but this is Islam bil ma'na al-khas. So before the Prophet ﷺ came, what happened to all that legislation? Now, once he came,
It's all abrogated.
yeah, it's all gone. It's all mansukh. It means khalas. It's not. You don't act upon it. You only act upon this sharia, this Quran, the Quran and the Sunnah that we have. So he said, وَلَقَدْ بَعَثْنَا فِي كُلِّ أُمَّةٍ رَسُولًا أَنِ اعْبُدُوا اللَّهَ. So the purpose of every single messenger sent to the people was to show the people how to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala correctly and how to stay away from shirk, how to stay away from disobedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is the purpose. So the purpose of every single messenger to mankind was what? Tawheed. This was the purpose. For every messenger, for all of mankind, was that they were sent with the message of Tawheed. Wajtanibu, what does the wajtanibu mean?
Stay very, very distant from.
Yeah, like, أنا أكون على جنب وهو على جنب آخر. So this is, we're in two separate areas, so keep it away from me, right? Wajtanibu al-taghut. So what is a taghut?
Man-made laws, Taghut is obviously like Shaitan and Fir'aun, those who call people to worship them. Like you can't call Isa ibn Maryam a Taghut because he doesn't approve of people worshiping him, but Shaitan and Fir'aun do. So they would be considered Taghut.
Alright, so a Taghut is mushtaq, right? It's derived. What is it derived from?
Tughyan.
Tughyan. And what is a Tughyan?
Transgression.
It's majawazat al-had. It means to go beyond the set boundaries. So like if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala set boundaries for his worship and you went out beyond those boundaries, whatever, if somebody was calling you to go out to those boundaries or you were worshiping something that caused you to go outside of those boundaries, anything, then you've fallen into the worship of a taghut because you've gone and you've transgressed and you've gone beyond those boundaries. So anything that takes you out of those boundaries that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said. Umar ibn al-Khattab radiyallahu anhu, and he said a taghut is a shaitan, which is the asl. As we're going to see the statement from Ibn al-Qayyim in a second, which Ibn al-Qayyim gave the best definition of a taghut. But the thing is that even Ibn al-Qayyim, the definition that he gave, he mentioned all the different tawaghit. Okay, tell you, but who is behind every single one of them? shaitan. So Umar radiallahu anhu, he gave an understanding of a taghut from the actual masdar, where all of this stems from, where all of the sins and the disobedience to Allah and the arrogance and the transgression and the oppression and the criminality and the shirk and everything, it all stems from shaitan, because he comes to the people with his whisperings, and then next thing you know, they go and they follow, and even their desires are corrupt. So, but as you know, so he said, taghut the shaitan. Ibn Qayyim, what did he say?
Shaitan. No, that's everyone.
He said, الطاغوت كل ما يتجاوز به العبد حده من معبود أو متبوع أو مطاع. So he said, الطاغوت كل ما تجاوز به العبد حده. So everything that the servant, he transgresses beyond the appropriate boundaries. And what? And he mentioned three things. Min ma'budin. So he could be, because the boundaries that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala set is what? And ibadah. We're talking about ibadah. What are the boundaries?
Staying away from haram.
لا نعبد إلا هو. That's it. Khalas. And we only worship Allah. The ibadah does not go to anything or anybody or anything else. It's all for Allah. If you take that ibadah, تصرفه إلى غير الله, which is shirk. You take it and you give that, ibadah, and you give, put it so where it doesn't belong, with something that doesn't deserve it, which is everything other than Allah. Only Allah deserves to be worshipped. He's the only one who's worshipped in truth with the right to be worshipped. So that all of that is tajawuz al-had. It's going beyond the proper set boundaries. Fi what? Fi ma'budin al matbu'. All right. So now matbu', and so the ma'bud, it could be a person, it could be a tree, it could be anything. It could be the person's desires. أَفَرَأَيْتَ مَنِ اتَّخَذَ إِلَهَهُ هَوَاهُ. So it could be his own desires, but the desires is going to go to the next thing, which is mata', which is the last one. But all right, so matbu', like what? Transgressing and what?
Whatever they say.
And following. So example of what? Like how?
Like when Fir'aun, he ordered his people to worship him alone.
Well, how do they follow him?
That they obeyed his orders.
Well, the obedient, like the following, is like you see these, the ulama as-su. They come in and make things halal that Allah made haram, and make things haram that Allah made halal. So most of the times they're making things halal that Allah made haram. And the people, they follow them in this. And they listen to them because their desires agree with it. So when we have clear-cut evidence from the ulama, you have maybe one person over here like Ibn Hazm, maybe one or two people that kind of, strayed away from the jama'ah in regards to music, right? But you go look at all the ulama before. Look at the mufassirun, either from the sahaba, from the tabi'een, and they're all like muttafaqun ala what? Tahrim. That music is not permissible. Then this joker of a so-called sheikh comes along, and maybe he takes the opinion of Ibn Hazm or some other scholar that's like, lenient in this bab, or has a different opinion about it, because for whatever reason. So he goes and now he starts making it halal, and he knows the statements of the Sahaba, but he chooses to go and take this opinion, and the people follow him in things that are made like things now that are haram, but he makes them halal. So now what are they doing? They're taking him as a taghut, because now they're following him in something that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made haram. He's making it halal, so they follow him, but they don't listen to what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent down. Okay, so he comes up and he makes smoking weed halal. So it's okay, it's medicine, it's medicinal, and we're doing it for these types of purposes. And the people follow him in this. Taghut. All right, so now this is ittiba', because they're following him now. They're following him and they're taking from him. And they're rejecting, like they're leaving off what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent down, and they're taking what this person's telling them without going back to the haqq. The person comes and says like, well, drinking khamr, drinking alcohol was only for a specific time or for specific, or no, because, the alcohol that they made, I'm just trying to make stuff up, like I'm trying to sound like an idiot like these people, it was only from dates and grapes and sha'ir, but we don't make that type of alcohol. We make our alcohol from corn, so it's not the same alcohol. And he never made alcohol from corn haram, I'm just saying. And then the people follow him in this, right? So that would be what? Yeah, Tawheed. And then they obey him in this, and then they left Islam. He's left Islam, and they left with him. Because he's made khamr halal. No. So, and then he said, what? Al-matbu'an al-mudha'. Alright, this means now in your obedience, to somebody. So if you obey somebody in something, because la ta'ata li makhluqin fi ma'siyati al-khaliq. So there's no obedience to the creation and the disobedience to the Creator. So if you obey a creation over the obedience of the Creator, so we're not talking about you being ignorant. Being ignorant is one thing. You learn and you don't make the same mistake again once you understand. But we're talking about a person who chooses this. He chooses this. He chooses to obey the creation over the Creator. Like you see, like nowadays, if the kuffar start putting the pressure on the Muslims. If the kuffar came out and said, y'all Muslims better shave your beards and you better stop drinking, well, you see most of the Muslims just strip off any semblance of Islam that they have. And they do it without but I'm just saying, let's say that they said it because this would show obedience to them. That they would be willing now to just leave off their deen to obey these kuffar because of that. Because what? Atakhshawnahum? Atakhshawnahum. I mean, do you have that fear of them? Wallahu ahaqqu ish. Yeah, that's it. Allah is the one that you have the right to fear like that, not them. That you strip off your deen and leave your deen because now obedience to them because you're afraid of them. Because this obedience is what it is. This is because of what? Your fear. But you don't have that fear of Allah. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala holds your eternity. I mean, He holds your dunya in His hands, but you don't perceive it because you're not doing like istihdar of that. You're not, you don't live your life thinking that, okay, Allah controls everything in my life. You're not thinking like that. So you kind of get deceived, and shaitan deceives you, people deceive you. So you think, that, it's the kuffar that have the control, so we have to make them happy and appease. No, Allah is in control of everything. And if Allah tests you with them, He tests you with them. But that doesn't mean now you go and take them as a tawhut in obedience and you leave off the obedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They tell you to close the masjid, you close the masjid. They tell you to pray 6 feet apart, and you go and you pray 6 feet apart. Yeah, come on. And what type of obedience is obedience to the kuffar? For what? Who are you fearing? Who are you fearing? You don't fear changing the deen and leaving off the deen and doing all this type of bid'ah and hirafat. But you fear what? A sickness, a little cold, a common cold, or you know what I'm saying? Or you fear that the kuffar are going to do something to you? Come on. Man. So that's in the obedience to them. So all of those are what fall under the category of a tawhut. So the same thing, if a person legislates something like these kuffar laws, and you go and you obey them, I mean, look, we're in their country, so there's certain things that we have to obey. Because, otherwise you end up getting going to jail or, problems like that. But we're not looking at the system and saying, oh, this system is good and this is, the court system. No, this is complete injustice. It's complete injustice. And anybody that's pleased with the system that they have has left Islam. You can't be pleased with the system. If you live in the system, you obey the laws that do not go against Islam to keep what? Keep the, to be civil, to keep everything, to keep the peace. And we don't want chaos because as Muslims, we're not a people of chaos. We should be a people of discipline, a people of, upright righteousness, righteous behavior. We should be like the example of all of the good qualities that should be in a person. We should be the example of that. So we're not people of chaos. But at the same time, we're not, okay, they say put on a seatbelt, we'll put on a seatbelt. We'll stop at the stop sign. We'll stop at the red light, and we'll obey these laws. But we're not going to sit here and obey these laws because we think that the system that they have is better then, I mean, obviously these are just dunya issues. I mean, these are not, but like go to their court systems and look at their marriage laws, their divorce laws, and all this, and you get Muslims that actually go and take another Muslim to court. And to take another Muslim to court over child support or over all, you know, this right now pushes you right at the edge of leaving out of this deen. Because you're going to the kuffar for what? For hukum. Because why? Are you pleased with what they have? You're not pleased with the deen. You're not pleased with, you know, so all of this falls into the, you know, issues of taghut. They take their court systems as a taghut. They take their legislative systems as a taghut. You got Muslims right now that are getting ready for November for what?
Thanksgiving.
Oh, they're ready to jump up in the polling booths to start voting, you know.
They're talking about Thanksgiving.
No, is it November they start voting? When did they start voting?
I don't know.
Well, you know, that's when the elections are, right? So maybe they start the voting before this. I don't know how this stuff works. I've never been to one of these in my whole entire life. So, but the point is, you got Muslims right now. They can't wait. They can't wait just to vote, to participate in this system. It's taghut. You're taking a part in this system. You're taking a part in what? This taghut. And you know, you should be very, very fearful, meeting Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on the day of judgment, going to their courts, participating in their legal system, participating in their political system, or anything. Actually, we got nothing to do with it. We live in this country, and like I said, we're not people of chaos. We're not going to cause chaos. We're not going to go out and just rebel and cause chaos, but we're not going to partake in any of this stuff that they do. We have our own system of laws, and we can rule each other with our own system. Alhamdulillah, we got people of knowledge. We got people that we can go back to sit down, and the people can, you know, but the people have to be ready to accept that. They have to be ready to accept that. All the family laws, we have them. We don't need to go to kuffar for this. All the issues that we need are right there in all of the books of hadith. We don't need to go back to the kuffar for any issues that we have. There's no reason a Muslim should ever be in the court system of the kuffar except a kafir is taking him to court, you know, and he has to go. But a Muslim should never take another Muslim to court. Yeah, and we know, I ain't gonna say his name. Nah, I don't want the video to get struck. But there's examples that I could give you of famous daddies taking other famous daddies to court and asking for interest.
What?
I got the court documents on my computer. They don't understand all that stuff is public. All you gotta do is just type in the court case and you find that stuff. I have those documents on my computer where he actually asked for interest because he said that the other day he used money that he gave him for something other.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, they're two famous, the two most famous, and
Yep.
Huh?
Can I say it or not?
No, because I'm telling you, if you say it, this dude's a crybaby. The first one, the one that was asking for interest, is a crybaby. And he reports anybody that says his name, or breathes his name, or sneezes wrong, or so just leave him. But anyways, but there you go. That's your daddy. That's a daddy. That's a person who likes to speak about Imam al-Tabari, you know, and he takes another Muslim to court and asks for interest. So just imagine that. Just imagine that. You know, so all of this is like a ridha, the taghut. You can't find another way. But you don't trust Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that you're going to get your rights on the day of judgment, that you have to go and take a Muslim to a kuffar court, or even complaining to YouTube and getting another Muslim's channel shut down, which is going to the kuffar and assisting the kuffar against the Muslims. And you're pleased with this. That's taghut. I mean, so the point is that these people don't even have the most basic understanding of Tawheed. So how are they teaching the people? How are they teaching the people when they're the ones going to these court systems? They're the ones getting the kuffar lawyers. You think that he's got you think he's got a joker lawyer? Oh no. He's probably got one of the best lawyers that he can get, and he's probably paying a lot of money. And I'm pretty sure a lot of these dudes are. The lawyer probably, his family's over there right now killing the Palestinians, you know? That's probably the type of lawyer he is. But they have no concern with it. It's just what they do is they get up and they talk in front of the people, but as soon as they have a problem, who do they run to? They run to the kuffar. They cry to the kuffar, complain to the kuffar. You know, so Allah musta'an. I remember it was like one brother said, you know, when we first had an incident here, with the first day that the guy came in and he jumped over the fence of the masjid. So when we pulled up in the masjid, he was jumping over the other fence. And we stayed here up until the sun came up. We're trying to see what he was doing in the masjid. And one of the brothers came and he's like, "Did you call the police?" I said, "What would I do that for?" You know, like that's the furthest thing from my mind. Like, you know, it's like he's in the masjid. If we catch somebody in the masjid, it's our business, not the police's business anyways. We could take care of that situation. I don't need the police. Well, why would I, you know what I'm saying? That's the last thing that I would think about. But you have these different guys, man. As soon as some issue comes up, take a Muslim to court, suing another Muslim. Or these, the family issues, the woman now, she wants to get custody of the children. I mean, even though she's gotten married to another man and she doesn't deserve custody of the children are supposed to go to the man after she gets married, but she still goes to the kuffar to make sure that she gets the hukum that she wants. And oppression to the man. And wallahi, the people don't fear Allah, that they're going to stand on the day of judgment for following these tawagheet, for falling into this. This is very serious. It's very serious, and people should not take this stuff lightly. Wallahi, be patient. Somebody, like, if you have another Muslim that goes against your rights or whatever, it's better for you to be patient. Nobody's saying that you have to forgive them. You get your rights on the day of judgment, but don't call the police. Don't go to the kuffar. Don't cry to the kuffar. That's not how we do things. You be patient. You're going to get your rights. Don't worry. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not going to leave any oppression where anybody oppressing another, especially a Muslim oppressing another Muslim. And you think that he's just going to leave it. You have to have good thoughts with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah understand. How much? I think we're going to have to end this for now, inshallah. I wanted to do this in the ayat after this, but this
22 minutes.
Yeah, this is too long. All right, so khalas, inshallah. We'll stop here. Wallahu musta'an. Wa ilahuna subhanaka wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka